Hello everybody, I'm Tamron. This channel is about one thing, and that is helping women help themselves by showing something that affects all aspects of our lives that nobody's really talking about. I show you through short stories of little events in women's daily lives of something that I call that subtle something that's hard to spot. And that subtle something that's hard to spot is eye-opening, and it will change your perspective and it will change your life. And you don't have to do anything except notice and observe. So if you want to change your life, upgrade your life, learn how to grow that deep sense of self-belief and self-confidence and self-growth and all that good, deep down, high value, personal stuff, well, then you're in the right place. So who am I? How do I know? Well, from my years and years as a financial advisor in Beverly Hills, my colleagues were almost all very wealthy, successful men, and my clients are all wealthy, successful men, and I learned a lot, and I'm here to share what I've learned with you. If you want to know more about my career specifically, I wrote a memoir. It's called No Backing Down. You can check it out on Amazon, or you can go to my website, and the address is nobackingdown.com, and it's also there. But that's my background. But the reason for this channel, the reason why I have this channel, is to help women help themselves with this subtle something that's hard to spot. So this is a big learning curve for me. And so far I've done 18 or 19 videos, and I think I've been a little bit cryptic. So I just wanted to go back and point out and make the point of not all of my videos, but some of them. And hopefully you'll go back and watch those videos and leave a comment. Tell me if it makes sense to you, if you get it, and I will answer you back. So the first video, I was just explaining what I'm doing, and I use the analogy of oil in a flower pot, motor oil in a flower pot. And basically what I'm saying is that you have to get rid of the root problem first before you can flourish. And we really haven't gotten rid of the root problem first. And I use the analogy of motor oil in a flower pot. I've noticed recently that a lot of people are using the same type of analogy. One guy uses piss in a water glass. So that's the first video, and I call it How Women Are Changing Society Forever. And then the thumbnail's called How Can Women Empower Themselves? So that's the first one. And then the second one I want to mention is one that hasn't gotten that many views, but I think it's the most interesting. And it is a little story, a short story, about a guy who's a 1,000,000-mile flyer, which means he's flown more than 1,000,000 miles on one of these major airplanes. And he had an experience on the airplane that I'm repeating to you. And that was also a really interesting video, in my opinion. So I'd like to know what you think about it. And it's called, Do Men Respect Women? Do Men Respect Women? And the thumbnail's called, Do Men Get More Respect Than Women? Then the next one, these are not in so the next ones are not in chronological order, but the next one I'll just mention is about a woman who is at the top of her game, not only the top of her game, but the top of the game of technology. She was the CEO of Hewlett Packard, which is a major computer company, one of the early computer companies, personal computer companies. And she also wrote a memoir, which I thought was very interesting, until I came across this quote that she makes in the book. And what she says is, she says, men understand other men's need for respect, but men don't understand women's need for respect. And when I read that, I was just floored, because what it showed me was that women at the top of their game, and not just at the top of their game, but the top of men's game, technology, still is pussyfooting around and has to deal with this issue of the subtle something that's hard to spot. So the most accomplished women have to deal with it still. And then there's another one with Meryl Streep. And I mentioned her, she's on a talk show with a panel of guys, and one of the guys is Steven Spielberg, and there's another guy, an Italian actor, I don't remember his name, but you'll recognize him when you see it. But she says, and that basically this is the same thing, she's saying, women speak men, but men don't speak women. And she sounded kooky, and everybody laughed, and one of the actors like poked fun at her, and ha ha ha, it was very funny. But this also showed me that even Meryl Streep is a woman who's at the top of her game in the entertainment field, and she's still dealing with it. The women at the top of their games are still dealing with this issue of that subtle something that's hard to spot, and they can't bring themselves to, they still have to pussyfoot around. Then another one would be the whole idea about queen bees and women not recognizing other women's accomplishments and giving them the recognition that they would give to a man with the same accomplishments. This is really detrimental. Oh, and here's another one. This one probably got the most views, and it's entitled, Do Women Need Men? And it's a guy who goes out on the street and is interviewing random women, and of course they all say no, which is ridiculous. That comes from the anger that women have of that subtle something that's hard to spot. I don't think women, most women don't even see it. Most of us don't see it, which is why I've got this channel. So if you could go back and look at that, watch that, think about it, leave a comment, that would be great. So there's a video about the definition of masculinity and femininity. There's several videos about women accepting the skill and expertise of other women and recognizing them for their skill and expertise, which is a big problem. Not only recognizing it and there's another one about women recognizing skill and expertise in themselves and recognizing it in other women. And it's recognition that they give without a second's thought to others. So there's a video called I'm gonna get my husband, and that is about women basically giving away their own credibility. And there's another one about women seeing the definition of themselves, of the femininity, as being helpless, which goes along with the same theme of I'm gonna get my husband. So there's several about that idea. Keep in mind that every single video on this channel all points to that subtle something that's hard to spot. And you don't have to do anything except notice and observe. So watch them all again and let me know what you think and whether they make sense now that I've given you the point of many of these videos. I'll see you soon.